before we get into the video, the state has just implemented a new reservation system for all visitors to Diamond Head. When we shot the video, this new reservation system was not in place. Before we get into it, we're gonna talk a little bit about what has come out in this initial announcement. So starting May 12th, 2022, anyone without a Hawaii state ID is gonna have to make a reservation prior to visiting Diamond Head. And just as before, if you do have a Hawaii state ID, not only do you not have to make a reservation, but accessing the park will be free, but you're still gonna have to deal with the parking if you plan on driving a four-wheeled vehicle there. Now, at the time that we're shooting this update, the cost for anyone to just get into Diamond Head is gonna be $5. The cost to park, $10. And if you're under 3 years old, free. This reservation system is now available online, so just head over to the state's website. We're gonna leave the link to that website in the description below. It's also gonna be on our blog, so you guys can check out either one of those if you need to make a reservation before heading to Diamond Head. All right, and here are some of the other things that you may wanna know straight from the website. So, parking and entry fees must be purchased online. Before, you could do them like right at the kiosk when you were coming in. Now, you better do it online before you show up. Persons without any reservations will be turned away. Right now, reservations can be made up to 14 days in advance. Hawaii does have plans to extend that reservation window up to 30 days. But at the time that we're shooting this video, 14 days is gonna be the most in advance that you can book your reservation to access Diamond Head. So there's not gonna be any refunds for any reason. Bad weather, rain day, hurricane, doesn't matter. If you guys book a reservation to go to Diamond Head, plan on going, or at least don't plan on getting any of your money back because there are no refunds. The very first reservation slot for the day is gonna be 6 a.m. The last reservation spot for the day will be 4 p.m. and you need to access the trail by 4:30. As always, gates close at 6 p.m., so you better get out of there before 6 p.m. or your car is gonna be locked in there or towed. I'm not really sure what happens, but you're not gonna like it. You also need to show up within 30 minutes of your reservation time. All reservation periods are gonna be only 2 hours, so you only have 2 hours to enter the park, get up the trail, do whatever you're gonna do in the state monument, and then get out. If you plan on parking a vehicle at Diamond Head, whether that's a moped, motorcycle, or a car, you now need to make that reservation at the same time that you make your entry reservation online, and you won't be able to do so as you're entering the park. We did email DNLR to get a few more details on how parking works. As of right now, there are no distinctions between cars, mopeds, or motorcycles when you're making that parking reservation. So what does that mean for you guys? You're all competing for the same amount of spots. So you have the same chance of getting a parking reservation regardless of if you're taking a moped or a car. Now, if you want to take a bicycle, even an electric bicycle, you can bypass the entire parking reservation. You still have to make that entry reservation, but you will not be required to pay for parking or make a reservation for parking. So given the restrictions on all cars, mopeds, and motorcycles, there's really never been a better time to reserve that e-bike at GoGo Rental and take that to Diamond Head. It's gonna be an awesome ride. You're gonna get to enjoy the whole ride there, the whole ride back, as well as bypassing all of the extra reservations. If you still have questions or if something was unclear, we're gonna link all the details in the description of this video, as well as our blog article. If you still don't know what's going on, you can check out the state's website. Now, back to the video. Aloha guys, and welcome to Diamond Head Trail. We're actually standing in the crater right now. We're about to head right up there to the top pillbox, and then immediately following that, we're gonna grab some breakfast at Bogarts and end the day by relaxing at Kahala Beach Park. We've got a pretty big day planned, so let's get right to it. Other than Diamond Head Trail itself, you'll also find a few benches like you see behind me to relax in the shade. They also have bathrooms. There is a small visitor center with a very small gift shop if you want to pick something up. Lastly, there are a few food trucks over here. Not a huge selection, but if you're hungry after the hike, it's a really good option. The parking situation here at Diamond Head is definitely tight. If you're not planning on arriving within the first few hours of opening, basically between 6, maybe 8, somewhere right in there, I would not plan on there just being a parking spot available here for you. One great option that you do have is take an electric bike or take a moped. There is additional parking just for bikes and mopeds. So if you don't want to take the car, you're going to come a little bit later in the day, I would highly recommend taking a bicycle or moped, or You can even just walk in from the entrance as well. So after we've got the parking covered, it's time to buy tickets. If you're from Hawaii, it's free. You just go in, show your ID at the gate, they'll let you right in. If you're not, $5 per person. You just pay at the kiosk, credit card only. They're much like any like parking ticket thing that you would go through in Waikiki. Immediately after going past the ticket kiosk, we're gonna hit the concrete walkway. Super easy part of the trail. There's not much grade to it. I'm doing it in a pair of Vans today, no problems. So the concrete walkway merges right into the trail that we're on right now. This is kind of the switchback portion of the hike. As you can see behind me, it does go back and forth to get you up. The trail itself, wet, but not really slippery, and it's all lava rock, so it doesn't really get muddy. As soon as we get past this, we're gonna be at the first lookout, and then we'll hit the stairs. Okay guys, we just reached the first lookout. Really good spot. Grab a drink of water, take in this view, maybe grab a couple pictures, and after this, we're headed right to the staircase. It definitely gets narrow in here, both in this tunnel and on the stairs. So, show some aloha. All right, let's recap from the first lookout. So from the first lookout, we hit the first staircase. From the first staircase, we go through the tunnel. From that tunnel, it's gonna spit you out where you can make a left or a right. You're gonna wanna make a right-hand turn and go up the 99 staircase. From that, we're into the spiral staircase. On the way up through the spiral staircase, you're gonna notice that there's a couple dead ends. It's pretty tough to get lost. There's really only one way up. You can't go past the last exit. Once you do get spit out into this bunker just behind me, it's a nice spot to grab a few pictures. The one that you come out into is just an observation post. And then the one that you see just above that is like a command post, command center. Getting out of the bunker is a little bit tight. If you take a look at me coming out of there, I'm a little bit taller, 6'4", but you know, I was crouched down pretty good getting out of there. So if mobility is an issue for you, it might be a bit hard getting out of there, or you might need some assistance. Looking over to the right, these are the metal stairs I mentioned earlier. That is the last staircase to the top. Once we go check that out, it's all downhill from here. All right guys, this is it. This is the end of trail. We've made it. Now that we've reached the top, it's a good time to get your bearings on the city. If you guys look just off to my right, we have Waikiki. Kapiolani Park is right there as well. A little bit further than that, Pearl Harbor. Looking over to the left, we stretch into Hawaiʻi Kai, Koko Head, Hanauma Bay. You also have a complete view of the inside of the crater. You can see the parking lot, which is very full right now. You can also see the tunnel in which we entered from, and traffic looks like it's backed up all the way to the tunnel almost. So get here early or you almost certainly will not be finding parking. So heading down from the metal staircase, you're gonna hit a T intersection. On that T, just make a left, and that trail is gonna take you all the way back down to the switchbacks. So that's it, guys. We're back on the concrete path. To give you a bit of a recap on the way down, you're gonna come down the metal stairs from the top, you're gonna hang a left, take that trail all the way down until you're back at the tunnel. Once you're at the tunnel, you're gonna follow that down to the metal staircase. That staircase is gonna bring you back to the switchbacks. The switchbacks will lead you back to the path we're on right now. All in all, it took us about 2 hours. We did stop a lot, did a lot of filming. I would say walking at a normal pace, you could probably finish this whole hike in an hour if you're moving fast. But I think most people will finish between an hour to 2 hours, mostly depending on how often you need to stop, how many pictures you're taking, how much water you're drinking, any of those factors. We're just a few steps from the parking lot now. I know I am starving. I'm ready to get to Bogarts for breakfast. Right after Bogarts, we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna go right to Kahala Beach Park, finish out the day with an awesome day at the beach. Let's go. Well guys, I have a bit of a confession to make. We didn't actually make it to Bogarts. I wasn't able to make it to Bogarts that day. Luckily, Taz and Spencer were still able to go. It's kind of a quiet little corner cafe. I really do enjoy it. I'm pretty bummed I didn't get to go with. Taz got the Eggs Benedict. Spencer ordered like the most vanilla thing you could possibly order, like straight out of a Dr. Seuss book, you know what I mean? I'm sure it still tasted good. Everything there usually does. Parking, sort of a nightmare. Even for Hawaii, it's a nightmare. I've been there between like a half a dozen and a dozen times, and I think I've got to park in the parking lot once. So just anticipate that you'll be parking on residential roads and walking over. I would still highly recommend going to Bogarts. Enough of me talking. I wasn't even there. After Bogarts, if you guys want a place to just relax and kind of wrap the day up, I really do recommend Kahala Beach Park. One, because it's off the beaten path. 2, because it's a very scenic drive over there, especially if you're on a bicycle or a moped. And 3, easy parking and no crowds. So enjoy Kahala Beach Park, guys. My name's Logan. Until next time, aloha.